Your life does not look normal because it was never meant to. What feels delayed, disconnected, and misunderstood is not disorder. It is design. God is shaping you in a way that cannot happen in public, and the difference you feel is the evidence of intention, not absence. Your life does not look normal because it was never meant to follow ordinary paths or timelines. From the beginning, there has been a quiet divergence between you and what others call typical. While people around you measured progress by milestones and calendars, your life unfolded in pauses, detours, and long stretches of unseen work. That difference is not an error. It is evidence of design. What feels delayed to the world is often deliberate in the unseen. You have noticed how your journey refuses to match the rhythm of others. When they celebrated arrivals, you were still in preparation. When they moved quickly, you were held back. This was not punishment, and it was not neglect. It was precision. Some call it being behind, but heaven does not operate on comparison. Certain callings require depth before visibility, strength before speed, and clarity before movement. Ordinary timelines produce ordinary capacity, but your life demands something more resilient, more gegründet, more discerning. That is why your path has been unfamiliar. You were never meant to be shaped by convenience. You were meant to be shaped by pressure, by waiting, by seasons that taught you how to stand without applause. What looks like stagnation has been formation. There were moments when you questioned yourself because your life did not resemble what you were promised it could be. You wondered if you missed a turn or misunderstood the calling. But the truth is simpler and more unsettling. You were called to a route that few can recognize while they are walking it. That kind of path rarely feels affirming in real time. It feels lonely, slow, and demanding. Normal lives often develop in public. Yours has been developing in private. While others gathered evidence of success, you gathered wisdom. While others built platforms, you built endurance. While others chased certainty, you learned how to move forward without it. This is not a lesser story. It is a quieter one. And quiet stories often carry the most weight. There is a reason your life required separation at certain points. Familiar environments would have dulled what needed to sharpen. Familiar expectations would have confined what needed room to expand. You had to be removed from predictable patterns so that something new could be written through you. What cannot grow in routine must be grown in interruption. Your timeline has felt stretched because it was designed to hold more than a moment. You are being prepared for longevity, not a brief appearance. Rushed success collapses under responsibility. Premature exposure fractures character. The delay you resisted has been protecting you from carrying weight you are not yet equipped to bear. You may still feel the tension between where you are and where you know you are meant to be. That tension is not doubt. It is alignment forming. It is the inner awareness that you are being shaped for a future that requires a different version of you than the one you used to be. Transformation rarely announces itself. It works quietly, often uncomfortably, but always intentionally. One day, what now looks irregular will make sense in hindsight. The pauses will reveal purpose. The detours will reveal direction. The solitude will reveal strength. Others may not understand how you arrived where you are, because they were never meant to walk the same road. Your life is not a template. It is a testimony in progress. You are not late. You are not broken. You are not off course. You are on a path that values readiness over speed and substance over spectacle. Ordinary timelines could not sustain what you are being prepared to carry. That is why your life looks different. It was never meant to look normal. It was meant to be faithful to a design that unfolds in its own time, with its own rhythm, and for a purpose that cannot be rushed. The silence, delay, and isolation you feel are intentional seasons of formation, not signs of abandonment. What feels like absence is often presence working quietly. There are seasons where direction is not spoken aloud, where reassurance is withheld, and where answers do not arrive on demand. These seasons are not meant to confuse you, but to refine how you listen, how you trust, and how you stand when nothing around you is confirming what you believe. Silence has a way of stripping away dependence on external validation. When voices fall away and guidance seems distant, you are invited to discover what remains steady within you. This is where discernment is sharpened. Without constant feedback, you begin to recognize which thoughts are rooted in fear and which are anchored in truth. Silence teaches you how to hear what cannot be shouted. Delay often feels like denial, but it is rarely that simple. Delay creates space for maturity to catch up with desire. It slows impulse and stretches patience. Many things you once asked for would have collapsed you if they had arrived too early. What you see as postponed is often being prepared in layers you cannot yet perceive. Timing is not about withholding, it is about alignment. Isolation, perhaps the hardest of these seasons, confronts you with yourself. When distractions are removed and familiar connections fade, you are left with your own thoughts, motives, and wounds. This is not meant to harm you. It is meant to heal what could not be addressed in constant motion. Isolation exposes what needs attention so it can be restored, not hidden. In these seasons, it is easy to believe you have been forgotten. The lack of visible progress, the quiet prayers, and the absence of clear direction can feel personal, but abandonment leaves you unchanged. Formation transforms you. If you look closely, you will notice that even in the stillness, something within you has been shifting. Your reactions are different. Your values are clearer. Your tolerance for what no longer serves you has diminished. What is being formed in you cannot be rushed or built in noise. Certain strengths only develop when there is no one to lean on but what you believe to be true. Resilience grows when you must keep going without affirmation. Integrity deepens when no one is watching. These qualities are not learned in celebration. They are cultivated in quiet endurance. There is also a protective element in these seasons. Not everyone is meant to witness your becoming. Premature exposure can distort growth. Being hidden for a time allows what is fragile to strengthen before it is tested. What is still forming needs shelter, not scrutiny. The isolation you resist may be preserving something valuable within you. Delay teaches you how to live without immediate reward. It refines your motives, revealing whether you desire the outcome or the purpose behind it. Silence teaches you how to remain faithful without constant reassurance. Isolation teaches you how to know yourself apart from roles, relationships, and achievements. Together, these seasons dismantle shallow foundations and replace them with something enduring. You are not being punished by stillness. You are being prepared by it. What you carry next will require steadiness, humility, and clarity. Those qualities are not acquired in hurry. They are shaped slowly, often painfully, but always with intention. The process may feel unfair, but it is precise. When this season shifts, you will not emerge the same. You will move with less urgency and more assurance. You'll be less reactive and more grounded. You will recognize what matters and release what does not. The silence will have taught you to listen. The delay will have taught you to trust. The isolation will have taught you to stand. This is not abandonment. It is investment. What feels like being set aside is often being set apart. The formation happening now is laying a foundation that will support what is coming. Even if you cannot see the outcome yet, the work is real, and it is purposeful. Nothing in this season is wasted. God withholds clarity in certain moments to secure your identity and deepen your endurance. Before exposure, there are seasons when direction is not explained and outcomes are not outlined. You move forward without a full picture, guided only by what you know to be true rather than what you can see. This lack of clarity is not meant to disorient you. It is meant to anchor you more deeply in who you are becoming, not in what you are trying to achieve. Clarity can be dangerous when identity is still forming. If you knew too much too soon, you might build your sense of worth around the destination rather than the transformation required to reach it. God often protects you from premature certainty because certainty can create shortcuts. Endurance, however, cannot be rushed. It must be built slowly, through choices made without guarantees and faith exercised without evidence. When clarity is withheld, motives are exposed. You discover whether you are willing to remain faithful without applause, recognition, or visible progress. This is where obedience becomes internal rather than performative. Without clear markers of success, you learn to move forward because it is right, not because it is rewarding. That kind of endurance is essential for what comes next. There is also a refining of identity that happens in uncertainty. When roles are unclear and outcomes are hidden, you are forced to confront who you are, apart from titles, achievements, and future promises. You begin to understand yourself beyond what you do. This grounding is critical. Exposure without identity leads to insecurity. Visibility without endurance leads to collapse. God ensures the foundation is secure before anything is made public. Endurance is not simply the ability to wait. It is the ability to remain consistent under pressure, confusion, and delay. When clarity is absent, endurance is trained. You learn how to continue showing up when progress is not obvious. You learn how to trust process over immediacy. These lessons prepare you for responsibility that does not come with constant affirmation. Many people break under exposure not because they are unqualified, but because they were never prepared for the weight of being seen. Clarity too early invites comparison, pride, or fear. It shifts focus from stewardship to outcome. By withholding details, God keeps your attention on character. What you are becoming matters more than what you are building. There are moments when the lack of clarity feels unfair. You wonder why others seem to move with confidence while you are left navigating uncertainty. But confidence rooted in full information is fragile. Confidence built in trust is resilient. God is not interested in giving you a map if it prevents you from developing discernment. Discernment grows when you must listen carefully and move thoughtfully. This season teaches you how to stand without control. It teaches you how to release the need to manage outcomes and instead commit to faithfulness in each step. That surrender strengthens endurance. You become less reactive, less anxious, and more grounded. You stop demanding clarity as proof of care and begin recognizing formation as evidence of investment. Exposure is not just about being seen by others. It is about being entrusted with influence, responsibility, and impact. Without endurance, exposure becomes a burden rather than an opportunity. God ensures that when you are finally seen, you are not dependent on validation to sustain you. Your identity has already been secured in the hidden seasons. One day, clarity will come, and it will arrive with responsibility. When it does, you will recognize why it was withheld. You will see how uncertainty trained your patience, strengthened your resolve, and anchored your identity. What once felt like silence will reveal itself as strategy. What felt like delay will prove to be preparation. God does not withhold clarity to frustrate you. He withholds it to fortify you. What is being built within you now will determine how you carry what is revealed later. Endurance formed in uncertainty becomes stability in exposure. Identity secured in the hidden becomes strength in the visible. Nothing in this process is accidental, and nothing is being wasted. The pressure and weight you carry are preparation for greater responsibility and spiritual authority. What you feel pressing on you is not random, and it is not meant to crush you. Pressure reveals capacity. It strengthens what is weak and exposes what cannot endure. You are being conditioned for something that will require steadiness, discernment, and the ability to remain grounded when others look to you for guidance. Weight is never given without intention. Responsibility is measured, not assigned carelessly. Before greater trust is extended, there must be evidence of endurance under strain. The burdens you carry now are shaping how you respond when the stakes are higher. You are learning how to hold tension without breaking, how to carry concern without losing clarity, and how to remain faithful when the load feels heavy and unseen. Pressure forces you to confront your limits. It teaches you where you rely on your own strength and where you must surrender control. This process is essential for spiritual authority. Authority that is rooted in self-sufficiency collapses under demand. Authority that is rooted in humility and trust remains stable. The weight you bear now is training you to lead from dependence rather than ego. There are aspects of responsibility that cannot be explained in advance. They must be experienced. The pressure you feel is educating you in ways words cannot. It is teaching you how to make decisions without perfect information, how to carry the needs of others without becoming overwhelmed, and how to stay anchored when outcomes are uncertain. These lessons are foundational for what you are being prepared to steward. Spiritual authority is not about dominance or recognition. It is about influence that comes from integrity. People trust those who have endured quietly, those who have been tested without losing their character. The pressure you endure now is refining your reactions. It is teaching you patience where you once rushed, compassion where you once judged, and restraint where you once reacted impulsively. Many people desire authority without understanding its weight. Visibility magnifies everything, including weakness. Responsibility exposes what has not been healed or strengthened. That is why preparation often feels heavier than the role itself. You are being strengthened in private so that public responsibility does not undo you. What feels excessive now will feel appropriate later. The weight you carry also sharpens discernment. Under pressure, distractions lose their appeal. You become more selective, more intentional, and more aware of what truly matters. This clarity is essential for leadership. Spiritual authority requires the ability to prioritize wisely and to remain focused when demands multiply. Pressure trains you to choose depth over noise. You may wonder why this season feels relentless, why the weight does not seem to ease. Growth often intensifies before it stabilizes. Muscles ache before they strengthen. Capacity expands through resistance. What you are carrying now is expanding your ability to carry more later without strain. This is not overload, it is enlargement. There is also a trust being demonstrated in this process. Weight is given to those who can be trusted not to abandon their values under strain. You are proving, even when you do not realize it, that you can remain aligned when pressure tests your resolve. That trust is not given lightly. It is earned through consistency in difficult seasons. When greater responsibility arrives, it will not feel foreign. You will recognize the weight because you have carried its training form. What once felt overwhelming will feel manageable. The authority entrusted to you will rest on a foundation built through endurance, humility, and discernment. You will not be surprised by the demands, because you have been prepared by them. The pressure you carry now is not a sign that something is wrong. It is confirmation that something is being built. You are being shaped to hold influence without being altered by it. The weight is purposeful. It is aligning you with the capacity required for what is ahead. Nothing in this season is accidental, and nothing you are carrying is without meaning. You are being refined, preserved, and aligned in hiddenness so you can emerge grounded, steady, and ready. What feels like being overlooked is often being protected. Hiddenness is not neglect. It is a controlled environment where unnecessary influences are removed and essential qualities are strengthened. This season is shaping you away from noise and expectation so that when you emerge, you are not dependent on them. Refinement is rarely comfortable. It involves the slow removal of what is excess, harmful, or misaligned. In hiddenness, you are confronted with habits, assumptions, and attachments that could not survive the next season. This is not loss for its own sake. It is precision. What remains after refinement is what can be trusted to endure pressure, responsibility, and visibility. Preservation is happening alongside refinement. While it may feel like nothing is moving forward, something vital is being safeguarded. Your peace is being protected from premature demands. Your clarity is being guarded from confusion that exposure could bring too early. Preservation ensures that what is forming within you is not damaged before it is strong enough to stand on its own. Alignment requires stillness. When life is loud and fast, it is easy to drift slightly off course without noticing. Hiddenness slows you down so adjustments can be made with care. Values are clarified. Priorities are reordered. Direction becomes internal rather than reactive. This alignment is subtle, but it is essential. A small misalignment at the beginning becomes a major fracture under weight. Being grounded does not happen by accident. It is the result of long seasons where roots are forced to grow deeper because surface support is unavailable. In hiddenness, you learn how to remain steady without external reinforcement. You develop stability that does not depend on affirmation, recognition, or constant progress. This grounding will sustain you when conditions change. Steadiness is also being formed. Without constant stimulation or urgency, your reactions slow. You respond rather than react. You listen more carefully. You choose more deliberately. This steadiness will become one of your greatest strengths. When others are unsettled by pressure or pace, you will remain composed because you are trained in quiet endurance. Readiness is not about having every answer. It is about having the capacity to carry responsibility without losing yourself. Hiddenness prepares you for this by strengthening your internal framework. You are learning how to manage uncertainty, how to hold tension without anxiety, and how to remain faithful when outcomes are not visible. These are the markers of true readiness. There may be moments when you question why this season is taking so long. Progress feels invisible, and effort seems unacknowledged. But emergence without preparation leads to instability. What is built slowly lasts. What is rushed often fractures. The time spent hidden is ensuring that when you are seen, you are not undone by exposure. This season is also shaping discernment. Without constant input from others, you learn to recognize what aligns with your values and what does not. You become less susceptible to distraction and more attuned to what truly matters. This discernment will guide your decisions when choices become more complex and consequences carry more weight. When you eventually emerge, it will not feel like a sudden elevation. It will feel like a continuation. You will move forward with a quiet confidence that does not need to prove itself. You will carry responsibility without being overwhelmed by it. You will remain grounded because your roots were established in hiddenness. Nothing about this season is wasted. Refinement is removing what cannot go with you. Preservation is protecting what must remain intact. Alignment is positioning you for what is next. Hiddenness is not the end of your story. It is the preparation that ensures when you step forward, you do so with stability, clarity, and strength. You are not being delayed. You are being made ready. Stand anchored in this truth. You are not behind. You are being formed. You are not forgotten. You are being preserved. You are not disconnected. You are being aligned. This season is not wasting you. It is defining you. If this resonates with your spirit, align yourself with it. Declare it. Carry it. Remain. Ere.